We good? All right. David McLaughlin. You know those times in your life when you're just thinking, this isn't worth it, it's not worth the effort of the pain? Those are actually the most important times in your life because it's what makes you grow and makes you mature and wiser and smarter. And one place you're always going to find troubles and hardships is at your job, no matter what your job is. I've had 3 jobs in my life. First one is tutoring. I'd never really taught anyone before. I just figured I needed a job, so I went and got hired there. Actually, I think Larissa, didn't you work there? Yeah, Larissa worked there. I was tutoring this 8th grader, math, and he was taller than me. And I might as well have been teaching him calculus because he didn't care. And he just didn't want to be there, and he was unresponsive. So after a couple weeks of unsuccessful tutoring, his dad came in, and Gus had gotten a bad grade on a test after he started coming to tutoring. So his dad, who was gigantic, came up and was not very happy. And so then I realized I better get better at tutoring or I'm wasting these people's time and their money. And then I got fired, so it didn't really work out. My next job, I walked into Del Taco, applied there. Someone just quit that day, so I got a job. That was fast food. I didn't really want to work in fast food. I heard it was bad, but it's not that bad. There's timers everywhere. It's multitasking to the extreme. But one time I was stocking up the cheese, and they just finished telling me how expensive cheese was. So I was putting the shredded cheese in this big gray tub, and all of a sudden, it's all over the floor. It's just everywhere. It's in the cracks. It's under everything. When you try and sweep it up, it gets stuck to the floor. So it was extremely embarrassing, and I felt terrible. I didn't forgive myself for a long time for that, but then I realized that I needed to because I was the only one who hadn't forgiven myself. So after a while working at Del Taco, my friend got me a job at Sonic, the new Sonic that arrived in Santee. I got there like 3 months in. It was a lot faster paced than Del Taco. It was busy all the time, but I could just focus on my one thing, whatever it was, like toasting buns or wrapping the burgers, and then get it done, do that for 8 hours. Then I started getting better and becoming more aware of everything else, and I had to make sure everybody else was doing their job and make sure all the food was getting out on time and correctly. And so it was stressful at first, but then I got used to it. It became second nature. And there was this one night, closing shift, 5 o'clock in the afternoon to 12:30 in the morning. Everybody in the closing crew went to the beach that day. We were all exhausted, and we were sunburnt and sun-drained. We got there, first hour was easy, and at 6 o'clock we got slammed from 6 o'clock in the afternoon until 12 at night. And I was so angry because we didn't have nearly enough people. We were just getting dominated. And at 10:30, this guy I was working with, who was barely doing his own thing, walks up and says, "Hey, we're out of bacon," which means he needed to stop and make bacon while I took care of his job too. So I was just furious. I was complaining the whole time. I was extremely loud and annoying. And then at 11:45, the guy on the other side of the kitchen finished his screen, and he walked over, and he started helping me without saying a word. And I realized I was being really, really annoying and complaining. So I learned I needed to shut my mouth. And from then on, I have pretty much shut my mouth. I don't really have anything from Del Taco, because I took back the uniform when I quit, but I got my name tag. And then this is my yellow hat from Sonic. I'm the only one with the yellow hat. I don't know what that means, but that's how they knew me when I first started, the guy with the yellow hat. And so even though those experiences all sucked and they were horrendous when I went through them, they were worth it in the end because of what I learned.